It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Wednesday, the 15th of November. I'm Michael Groff. A rather complicated forecast unfolding here. Clouds on the increase, and we do have chances of rain coming in probably 3 different rounds across the region over the next few days. Now, even though we do have decent chances of rain in our forecast, rain amounts kind of questionable right now. We are more than likely to see some rain across the region, but how much? That remains to be seen. And we'll talk about what's going on with this in more detail here in just a moment. One thing we can be fairly certain of is temperatures will be headed down, and that's some good news. Highs after today and tomorrow probably going to stay in the 70s, at least for a while. All right, let's get into it here. The almanac from yesterday, 89 degrees the afternoon high, 68 the morning low. Obviously way above those averages of 77 and 54. And even though we didn't put it on the graphic here, actually that low of 68 was a record warm low temperature, so that should have been in orange like we normally do. We're way behind on rainfall. We could at least cut into that deficit a slight bit. Looking outside right now here at 12:10 p.m., better late than never. We've got mostly cloudy sky. We're sitting at 83 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew point at 45. Humidity is at 26%. The winds are light. The barometer, 29.99 inches and steady. The upper level weather pattern here at the midday hour. Got an interesting upper low there off of the southeast coast of the United States, bringing plenty of moisture to Alabama, Georgia, Florida, the Carolinas. We're going to watch that for maybe a potential tropical development. And more germane to us, ridging moving off to the east and a deep upper low that's developed off of the west coast and a rather complex setup in there. There's sort of a secondary low that's developed on the southern periphery of that system. We got a little wave that's going to come through. The first initial wave moving around that low will come through here tonight and tomorrow, and that'll give us a chance of showers later this afternoon, tonight, and into the early morning hours on Thursday. Another round Thursday night, Friday, and then finally that upper low will begin to move on in. And its overall trajectory, that's still a bit of a question mark, and how that plays out will obviously determine our rainfall. But you can see a pretty active setup here, at least for the next 72 hours. The watch warning map is pretty quiet. Some air stagnation advisories again over the Treasure Valley of Idaho. We've got some winter weather conditions further to the north, but overall pretty quiet, obviously, with our storm system there for the Gulf Coast. Some coastal flood advisories and some wind and all of that to concern ourselves with. Convective outlook for today. No organized severe weather anticipated, but thunder possible over parts of Florida, the Gulf Coast, and out here in the southwest, Southern California, parts of southern Nevada, the western part of Arizona could hear a rumble of thunder later tonight and tomorrow. We don't anticipate really widespread thunder activity, but a stray thunder shower not out of the question. All right, now here's the precipitation outlook. This is valid through Wednesday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, 1 to 2/10 of an inch, might sneak up to about 1/4 of an inch in a couple of spots. A little bit more than that expected up north. But again, rain amounts could vary a bit more than what this graphic shows because of the complex and fluid nature of this. And we're going to talk about what's going on here as we dive into the models right now. Here we go. This is the GFS. It's the 12Z run. This is valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Big upper low off the west coast. A number of these little vort lobes, these little disturbances, these little waves circulating around that feature. Southwesterly flow here, bringing in plenty of subtropical moisture. And so what it means for us down at the surface today, for the rest of this afternoon, cloudy sky, mostly cloudy sky coming in. Mainly mid-level clouds, but they'll be thickening up as we go into the afternoon and evening hours. High temperatures for the rest of the afternoon. We're about there now. I'd say mid-80s. And you can see the rain coming into Southern California up towards Southern Nevada, sneaking into Western Arizona. And by this evening, we'll start to introduce a chance of rain into the Phoenix area. Just a slight chance in the evening. Better chances come in after midnight. And then lows tonight should be generally held in the 60s with all that moisture and cloud cover around. Then tomorrow, chance of showers in the morning. And then the rain chances should start to shift further to the east in the afternoon. But another round of rain could be coming into Southern California and far southwest Arizona, the southern part of the state, by tomorrow evening. And we're going to watch for that second round later tomorrow night. High temperatures tomorrow should cool off to the mid-70s to about 80 degrees. Friday, we get a lull of activity in the morning, but then another chance of showers comes in by late in the afternoon, Friday night and into Saturday. Highs on Friday, generally, again, mid-70s to about 80 degrees, the sky mostly cloudy. Friday night, Saturday, this will be our final shot at rain, but again, that upper low, the trek of that low is going to determine how things play out. And we have seen a good number of our model guidance here, a number of the ensemble members take this low further to the north. But recent trends have shown a track a little further to the south. And if that should happen, better dynamic support would be in place and we could have better rain chances in here Friday night and Saturday, maybe even a rumble of thunder or two. At this point, we'll keep the rain chances around 40 to 50% for Friday night and Saturday. High temperatures on Saturday, generally in the mid, maybe upper 70s. And again, mostly cloudy sky will be with us. But this is a really complex kind of forecast. You've got this big low, you've got these little vort lobes, these little disturbances that circulate around this, and the overall track of this low is just, the models have just handled this very poorly from the outset. And the European has generally done a better job handling this than the GFS. And the European is showing a wetter solution. That doesn't mean it's going to happen for us, but we're going to keep these decent rain chances in our forecast from tonight through at least Saturday morning. And we'll see how it plays out from there. Now, on Sunday, most of this activity will be out of here. We may see a shower over eastern Arizona, but otherwise, we'll turn mostly sunny here. High temperatures should be somewhere in the mid-70s. And pretty much the same deal on Monday, mostly sunny, mid-70s. And same deal Tuesday, low to mid-70s, mostly sunny. Some model guidance, a lot of the model guidance shows a pretty broad ridge coming in, the intensity of which, though, has varied from run to run. So it could wind up seeing temperatures trending more toward 80 degrees, the low 80s here, but at this point, we'll keep the forecast a little bit on the cooler side with some cooler air advection still in place. All right, here's a week from today. This would be Wednesday, the 22nd. It's the busiest travel day of the year across the United States. And oh, look at that trough across the Great Lakes in the eastern half of the country. But around here, conditions look fairly dry with a northwest flow aloft, and temperatures would be fairly seasonal if that's right. Then, as we take a look out 10 days, this is Friday, the 24th, Black Friday, and you got another rather significant trough over the nation's heartland. We're kind of on the backside here. And that's right, temperatures may trend down a bit, highs low to mid-70s, if that's correct, and we'd still be dry. But again, there's just a lot of different outcomes that are likely to take place as a result here. Model uncertainty has just been running really high for this forecast period. So obviously things are going to change day to day, so we'll keep you up to date on what's going on. Look at a rainfall for Phoenix. Now, this is off the GFS ensemble. Now, this goes out to the 29th of November. And the mean here has stayed generally under 1/4 of an inch. You've got most of the members, all but one, showing measurable rain, but just not a lot on most of the ensemble members. A couple of them are trending up, though. The European ensemble is more bullish on rainfall, and the mean here, once again, is kind of trending back up toward around 2/3 of an inch. You got individual members well over an inch, nosing up toward 2 inches on a couple of runs. And so the models are really split on what happens here, especially out the last 7, 8, 9 days of the month, showing a really unsettled pattern potentially developing. There's considerable spread here. So at this point, we're going to keep watch on these model trends and see if we can actually start to get into a more unsettled weather pattern. We've been talking about this for a while with El Nino coming this winter and the southern tier of the United States seeing more active weather. Could this be the start of that? It's hard to say. There are so many variables. I was just talking about that in the comments section of yesterday's video regarding the Madden-Julian oscillation, the El Nino. We've got the North Pacific oscillation. We've got a lot of different factors coming together to complicate our forecast over the next 10 to 15 days. And so for anybody to tell you that they know what's going to happen out here beyond 10 days is ludicrous, especially now, more so than ever. And then temperatures off the national blend of models. Yeah, no doubt warm today. Tomorrow we'll trend it down. And overall, the temperature trend should continue to head downward for the rest of the month, with highs mostly in the 70s, overnight lows in the 50s, and a few mornings. We should see many spots getting down in the 40s. And that is going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. And if you really like what we do here, you want to support us monetarily, you can click that little thanks icon below the video here on YouTube and donate to us monetarily. Every dollar helps to keep these videos going, so we really do appreciate it. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my one and only, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. So please, I do encourage you to check her out. Thank you guys so much for watching. All of your continued support, so greatly appreciated. Please be safe, and you guys have yourselves a terrific rest of your Wednesday.